in Cincinnati.
Razorbacks coming off of a 73-67 win over Cincinnati, averaging nearly 80 points a game. There is a big personnel change for Penn. I'll tell you about it in just one moment, but first, a bucket off the window for JT Notte. Quakers come into this game led by Jordan Dingle. Sophomore guard gives him nearly 20 points a game. Dingle is unavailable today. He's out with an illness. He's on the trip, but we're told that he will likely remain in the locker room for the entirety of this game. There's an early three from Clark Slackert, who earns a start today. 33% from behind the arc.
Slackert, a shooter. You take a look at the starting five for Arkansas, an impressive group so far, undefeated. You go back and think of Jordan Dingle. Dingle is the kind of player that can compete and play in any game against any competition. So he'll be missed dearly by this Penn squad. Someone's got to take his place. When they run offense, keep an eye on how far they keep the lane open. They've got good shooters. They'll penetrate. They'll kick. Unless option one, they make a layup. Everything else is draw and kick and shoot it from outside.
There was no Ivy basketball last year. Steve Donahue used that time almost as a sabbatical. He said, I watched more college basketball than I ever have before, trying to pick up new tips and trends and dedicating his team to better defense. It's his second run through the Ivy League. He was at Cornell for 10 seasons and then Boston College as the head man in Chestnut Hill for 4. There's one of those back cuts. Max Martz with a bucket.
Well, what you love watching about a Penn team or many mid-major teams, they don't run as much pick and roll as all the major squads or the NBA teams. A lot of that is the pick and roll every time down. But a team like Penn, they'll space you, they'll backdoor cut you, and make you chase defensively. Now, it's a great challenge for Musselman's team to do that, but you got to be very patient on the defensive end.
Big offensive rebound for the Razorbacks. Jalen Williams gives it up. So many players on the floor who can score. It's another revamped Arkansas roster with 5 key Division I transfers. Long two, and that one goes for J.D. Notte, who's found his way into a leading role this season.
Yeah, outstanding player. Matchup 2-3 zone defense that time by Penn. Again, without the use of Dingle, today's sick. Also, Max Lorca-Lloyd, who hurt his right foot before the Townsend game, did not play then, won't play this afternoon. They're down by numbers, so they'll play more zone defense than they normally do.
Lost to Towson 76-61. It wasn't as close as the final score would indicate, thanks to Penn closing the game on a 15-1 run. It's been a busy November already. Only one team has played more games than the Quakers here early on in the season. And well, that's a change because they didn't play a game for 613 days. Now they're playing their 9th in 19 days.
Yeah, what a crazy thing. You mentioned the 6-pack when everything's got to be across the half-court line.
Both feet,
your ball and your feet and your body.
Yeah. I wasn't so certain that left foot ever came all the way across.
Yeah, they didn't call for review. There wasn't a red flag you can throw from the sideline and check it.
That's right. There's Tony playing Pitt. Last season, he was more of a ball handler, at least instigator offensively, and a nice runner and a bucket for Slackert.
So we know, Tom, that Arkansas will push, will trap, they can do a lot of things with their speed. Now that Penn is a little thin underneath, let's see if Arkansas scores a lot around the rim this afternoon.
Steve Donahue mentioned the fact that this Penn team, Sonny, a little worn down, a little weary from all these games early on in the travel, huh?
Yeah, he did. And he said really the worst one was the Townsend game, the last one. Now they had a few days rest. They flew into Dallas last night, bust up to Fayetteville, which is a little bit of a bus ride. But, you know, pretty common for them on the bus rides. They were talking about 7 hours they go to Dartmouth, 7 hours they go to Harvard, so they're used to way on the offensive end.
J.D. Notte knocks down a couple of free throws. 6th man of the year last year, now in a starting and starring role. Eric Musselman is stuck with his starting 5 to this point, and a rebound is tipped out of bounds by Penn. Hey, Sonny, did you notice on that previous free throw that the guy for Arkansas standing outside of the top of the key was the 7'3" center Connor Vanover? He wasn't on a block in there for a rebound. You don't see a 7-footer lurking 22 feet away from the basket very often.
So think of this. The guys inside, Jalen Williams quick off his feet, Tony quick off his feet. A lot of teams tip it out, right? They tip it back. And instead of, you can't get an offensive rebound. And if you can tip it back for 7-3 guy, and we also know Vanover can catch it and simply shoot the three when he's open.
Tony's second three of the season. Transferred in from Pitt, senior from Huntsville, Alabama.
The key for Penn is good movement offensively and take care of the basketball. Right there, boom. Good movement, take care of the basketball, knock in the shot by Williams.
And so Jelani Williams will have a chance at a 4-point play.
Good ball movement, good body movement. They've got guys that can catch it and release in a hurry. Jelani Williams, Joel, you got to get to him in a hurry. This guy, what a great story it's been in his career.
Yeah, he missed a ton of time. He has had 3 different torn ACLs, and he went 1,789 days between games. First injured it at Sidwell Friends in D.C., coming out of his high school career.
You know, many guys wouldn't stay with it. He's finally rewarded. His first game was this season, since high school.
Good Davis gives it up and then look inside for the dunk. And the first bucket for Stanley Amude.
Good movement on the offensive end against the zone so far for Arkansas. Great cut, great pass by Devo Davis.
He was a great scorer as a Coyote. That one off the mark. Arkansas looking to go on a run here. They've been a team of runs, but they also have been a team of turnovers. More turnovers than assists the last couple of games, and an offensive putback for Max Martz. Ball fake from the three-point line. Here's Amude.
Arkansas with good quickness on both ends of the floor. Share the basketball, unselfish team. Against a zone, you want to find creases that can penetrate it either by dribble or by passing. Look at the step inside by Amude. Easy find in the middle, but a terrific no-look pass by Davis. Easy finish.
Third turnover for Arkansas with a step on the sideline. While the Razorbacks are shooting 50% early, they've allowed Penn to stick around in this game thanks to the early turnovers. Ball was kicked.
The backdoor cuts have been very effective so far against Arkansas. You almost have to be in contact with your man. See ball, see man, but as your guy goes out on the wing, you have to have an elbow, arm, forearm touching. If you don't, they make a quick backdoor cut and the bounce pass for an easy layup.
And a Penn turnover. Just a second for the Quakers. Penn, no strangers to SEC play. Opened the 2019-20 season at Alabama. Got a win against Nate Oates in his Alabama debut.
Yeah, Jordan Dingle with his freshman season 2 years ago. The game winner at 24 points. On a system that Nate Oates, when we talk about Nate Oates, they shoot layups, no mid-range game, and shoot threes. It's the same thing that Steve Donahue runs. And I would say Donahue probably ran it before Nate Oates. But again, it doesn't mean he's copied or didn't copy. That's how they do it. They'll either shoot a layup. If you can't get it, you kick it out. You shoot threes. The third option normally would be the post-up play if the guy's in good position.
4 years in the ACC with Boston College after starting at Cornell, the only head coach in ancient 8 history to lead 2 programs to conference titles. Did it 3 times at Cornell. Then Penn won it in 2018. Nice spin move. And a feed inside by J.D. Note for the finish.
Wow, the quickness out front. The second attempt because of the size advantage that Arkansas has. So you get an offensive rebound, good penetration, terrific pass, easy layup.
Penn 2 of 5 from deep here early on. Shot clock at 4. Behind the back, they got to get one off, and it is forced up and off the rim by Moshkovitz, and then a foul after.
Chris Lights good with the basketball, terrific at the free throw line, unselfish this time as he goes in the paint. transfer from Miami, who has been spectacular really from the free throw line down the stretch of ball games. He'll keep the ball in his hands. Got to be careful probably when he gets to SEC play because they can trap him. They may not call as much of the bumping, but he will hold on to the ball down the stretch because he loves going to the free throw line. He's shooting 84%. He was outstanding in Kansas City from the foul line down the stretch of both of those games, went 18 for 20.
Yeah, and he went 10 for 10 in the final 146 against Kansas State. A discussion that we can have a little bit later with this Arkansas team is the pieces in the backcourt. Chris Lykes at 5'7" was more of a volume shooter at Miami than a true point guard. And here he is with a mismatch on the block. Penn trying to figure it out. Shot clock winding down again. Deep three. And it's ripped down by Audis Toney.
Tom, when you watch again, Penn on the offensive end, because of their spacing, nobody's in the paint, nobody's in the middle. Rarely will they get offensive rebounds in a game like this.
Lykes gets caught in traffic. Kick out.
Steve Donahue wanted a turnover. He wasn't sure Lykes, no one touched the ball away from him.
Jonah Charles, number 2 for Penn, has already drawn the ire of the Arkansas fans. Every time he touches it, they give him a boo. Great defense by the Hogs. Nearly force a turnover. Shot clock now at 2, and they do force a turnover.
Bad ankle. And I mean, when you have different guys on different nights doing those things, it allows teammates to have a freshness and also a confidence, no matter where they are in a ball game, that they can make a run.
Williams out of Fort Smith Northside led the team in charges last year. That bucket from Amude. Great score at South Dakota. Nice dish. And Penn getting looks. It's Lucas Monroe with his first bucket.
Yeah, a very effective off the dribble pass. We don't see a lot of that from this Penn team. Staying in the zone. Not a lot of fresh bodies on the sideline for Steve Donahue tonight, this afternoon.
It's a Penn team, like a lot of Ivy League squads. It's a deep roster, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're guys that play a lot of minutes for them. Non-scholarship, obviously, in the Ivy, so you have a lot of guys that are on the team. In fact, they have 19 on the roster. But here's the thing, 11 of their 19 had never played a college game before their Florida State opener this year. 3 ball off the mark. Bryce Washington. And if you joined us late, Penn is missing its leading scorer, Jordan Dingle. Dingle came in averaging 19.5 points a game, and he had 21 last time out in the loss to Towson.
And if you've not seen Dingle play, he could play at most schools in the country.
Wide open 3. That's what Eric Musselman had a problem with in the first 3 games of the season, when Arkansas gave up a ton of threes. They certainly slowed down Kansas State, and they held K-State to 3 of 22 from 3. But their first 3 opponents hit 43 threes over 3 games. And, John, 33 of those were catch and shoot, just like the one Penn just missed.
Again, when you play a team as talented defensively as Arkansas, if you can get them, because they'd like to make steals, they'll double you, they'll switch ball screens or switch movement. It does open up a chance to put it on the floor and kick, and for guys to get open threes.
Nice shake.
Very
and
nice.
A beautiful finish. Bucket by Bryce Washington. Foul and one coming for Taylor Moody.
Moody knows where to find that opening again against the zone defense. Very comfortable catching inside. We've already talked about he hasn't been overly spectacular yet in an Arkansas uniform, but he was at South Dakota U 71 times in double figures. All Summit League a couple years in a row there, and 11th in the all-time scoring list at South Dakota.
All right, let's talk South Dakota hoops for a second, because that's your wheelhouse. 4 seasons there. He was top 10 in the country last year in scoring, over 1,500 points. He led the Coyotes to their first win at South Dakota State in Brookings, right? That's in Brookings,
yeah, Brookings.
South Dakota?
Yes.
Against the Jackrabbits. First
Yes.
win there against their rivals in 20 years. That's a big deal.
That's a big deal up there, Tom. I was born in Sioux Falls. I spent my first 10 years in South Dakota. Now, going to a South Dakota U and a state game, I'm sure it's not like this now. Jackrabbits and Coyotes, if you're on the other court, there used to be a dead either jackrabbit or a dead coyote tossed on the floor. And as a little kid, it might scare you a little bit, but it was part of the process and part of the rivalry. I don't think that's allowed probably nowadays, but it was fun back when it happened. This day of football, and you had a great game in Baton Rouge. Great ending to your ball game again. It was super. What a day. What a day of football.
And now the crazy season has started. Billy Napier will be named the next head coach at Florida. That opens up a job at Louisiana Lafayette, and Arkansas fans should take notice because their defensive coordinator, Barry Odom, is going to be talked about for some of the openings like the one at Louisiana.
And rightfully so. Arkansas fans hope that he stays as defensive coordinator for the Hogs. What a great season they had in Fayetteville.
Ended it with a win against Missouri on Friday. That's a nice strip by Devo Davis.
We talked a little bit about turnovers. Arkansas sometimes unforced. Not a good pass, but good effort coming back the other way. Davis, one of those players that predicted to be the second team All-SEC this season after a fabulous freshman year. Made the game winner against Oral Roberts in the Sweet 16. Was started the last 14 games down the stretch and really made a difference for this Hog team.
First Elite 8 run for the Hogs since 1995. Open 3 is off the mark. Razorbacks a lot of success from deep here early on. Whoa. Fantastic save deep in the corner by Jonah Charles. Shot clock will wind down on the Quakers once again. Corner 3 was halfway home, wouldn't go.
Wow, what a good find. He had a mismatch inside, and anytime when you come help Likes on defense, someone's going to be open. Halfway in, halfway out. Razorbacks have not gotten a lot of fast break points. But again, we remember, Penn doesn't crash the offensive board, so they get back defensively. Won't be many early looks for this Razorback squad.
Tony working on the baseline. Takes it off the window. He was a good scorer at Pitt in 18 and 11 in his Arkansas debut, 7 of 9 shooting.
Already with 9 points in the first half, 4 or 5 from the field.
So here's one of those Razorback runs. It's now a 7-0 run. And the Quakers trying to shoot their way out of this drought. They'll do it with Jonah Charles rattling one home.
Charles, a natural shooter. Knows how to get open. Now that time was an offensive rebound, but moves well without the basketball. He's a catch and release guy. Very confident in his ability to make shots.
Meanwhile, Arkansas not hitting threes, just 1 for 7 to start this game. Nice ball fake.
But already 6 offensive rebounds.
That was Chris Likes off the mark.
Tough
Loose
pass.
ball picked up. Here's Likes. Likes was just 3 for 12 in the game against Cincinnati and Kansas City. Another Arkansas takeaway. 3-on-2 for a moment. Likes little head fake. He's used to taking a lot of shots.
Yeah, hey, let's not upset the duo. You know, duos that split up never really helps anything out. So let's just keep it where they are, man. These are Grammy Award-winning group now.
We got a good thing going. So I mess with it. Clark Slackert, who's playing with 2 fouls. He got the start today with Jordan Dingle out, and he's got 7 points for Penn.
I think the Penn coaching staff has to be happy how this first half has gone. They've hung in, have not turned the ball over much. They've fought inside enough. Another defensive rebound. The patience on the offensive end. They've not allowed the Razorbacks just to make this a helter-skelter up and back and get the fans in Bud Walton Arena going.
Penn only -6 on the glass. Bryce Washington out to Charles. Charles out there to shoot the three. 25 made threes this season, only 4 made twos coming into this game.
Tom, you saw where the penetration that time, and the defense is going to come help. But offensive players under this system at Penn or at Alabama know that if I don't quite have it, my teammates are spaced around the outside. I've just got to find the openings, and teammates normally know where to get in those opening spots. Good offensive board again.
First bucket for Devo Davis. Gives him 6 points a game. I don't know what Jonah did to the fans, but they are not happy with it. 8-point Arkansas lead. I suppose we should let Jonah know that it's just random who the student section of the fans pick out to heckle for the game. Not that he's necessarily earned it. Here's Slackert. Nice little pass, and then a bump inside. Penn is hanging right there, only down 8 despite being without their leading scorer, Jordan Dingle, and they lost their 5-man, Nick Spinoso, just 2.5 minutes in this game to an ankle injury. Spinoso has yet to return.
And they're playing without Max Lloyd, who had a bad foot. Didn't play against Townsend. Another 6'9" starter. Athletic body, long. So they're down a number of guys, and they're hanging tough in this first half against this Razorback team, which gets another offensive rebound and a putback.
That's Kamani Johnson. Transfer from Little Rock. 7th offensive board this afternoon from the Razorbacks. And 11 second chance points for the Hogs. Now on the run. And a chance to go to the line for Stanley Amude.
How quickly when the Hogs get the basketball and they're off to the other end. Fill the lanes, get out wide, 3-on-2. Trailer on that spot. They have all white jerseys coming. Interchangeable parts. 6'6" and under across the board outside of Jalen Williams at 6'10", but Tony at 6'6", Davis at 6'4", Note 6'2", the Moody's at 6'6". When they're all on the court together, they can change spots defensively. They can be aggressive, and doesn't really matter who gets the ball on the offensive rim or defensive rim. They can run the other way and bring it.
Amude knocks it down. For a guy, Amude's kind of interesting, John. For a guy who is a big-time scorer, even though he's off to a slow start this season, doesn't go to the free throw line very often. Leaning 3. Got it. Tough shot for Slackert. He's into double figures, leading scorer with 10.
Changing up the zone defense a little bit. 1-3-1. See if the ball can get to the corners. That's where the open shots are. Terrific move.
Moshkovich commits his second. He's the 3rd different Penn starter with 2 personal fouls.
Against the 1-3-1, a cross-court pass, so to speak, in a half-court set. The weak side corner is going to be open. Can you get that ball down there? And they did, and Tony knows how to finish. Great body control. Draws contact, and when he hangs, he's got the ability with that left hand. A lot of guys aren't used to defending left-handers. Shields the ball away, and then he finishes it. Terrific first half so far. 5 of 7 from the field. 4 rebounds.
3-point play for Tony. 3 seasons at Pitt where he averaged 9 points and 5 boards. Eric Musselman was talking about his run in Kansas City at the Hall of Fame Classic. He said we didn't run a play for him. Nice back cut and a dunk for Monroe.
Good pass, good bounce pass back to the cutter. Yeah, you mentioned what Muss said about Tony. I think really the focal point was that Tony's never really played with this freedom, right? They ran a lot of sets at Pitt. So here's an offensive set for freedom of movement. And what Tony does great is cuts without the basketball. And the more comfortable he gets with his teammates, game by game, you can just see his ability on the offensive end. The confidence grows. And he delivered in Kansas City, and he's playing exceptionally well this first half.
Loose ball. Monroe got on the floor for it. Penn retains possession. Shot clock in single digits again. And it's short off the front of the rim. Half of Penn's field goal attempts have been from behind the arc. That's keeping with their trend on the season. And oddly enough, Arkansas's opponents' trends. Nearly a 2-second difference in the game clock and shot clock.
Here we go, 1-3-1.
Tried to work it inside, knocked away. 5 seconds left, and the Quakers lost the handle on it.
Yeah, Arkansas is going to get another shot at this. Not a good pass by Notte. He got in the middle of the zone, and he tried to force one in. Instead, he had a teammate really right in front of him, wide open for a three-point shot. Sometimes you take the easy one, and your teammates appreciate if they get an easy one too.
Razorbacks will not use a timeout here to set up the last shot. Under 5 seconds to go in the half. Gus Larson checks in for the first time. 6'10" freshman. Notte keeps it himself. Little floater. Got it. And that's how the half will come to it.
More of a shooter's game than it ever is a big man's game. But this league has enough height and power inside. I do think Musselman had an answer or got an answer from his ball club when you go against a physical team like Cincinnati. And they out-rebounded Cincinnati by 14. They were physical. They were tough. Excuse me. But I think that's the bigger question.
Trying to get it inside, and it's batted around and taken away by Jelani Williams of Penn. We still haven't seen Nick Spinoso. Their starting center got injured a couple minutes into this game with what looked like an ankle injury. There's Connor Vanover on the glass, 7-3. Notte directing traffic. Vanover fadeaway. Got it. He's got a fantastic shoot.
With what looked like just a simple tie.
And so Tony, at his 13 points a game, to the locker room with a half to play. And with the double technical, went to the arrow. Penn basketball down by 13, largest deficit of the game. Nice back cut. Slackert has been the offensive weapon. 4 or 5 from the floor, and this one will stay with the Quakers.
Constant movement on the offensive end. Step towards a ball, backdoor cut. Keep moving, another backdoor cut. You have to stay disciplined defensively, which is hard to do the longer the clock stays on.
Force 3 with the shot clock winding down, and then a left-handed heave where Michael Moshkovich won't go. Moshkovich is from Jerusalem. He started on Israel's 2018 FIBA Under-20 team in the Euros. That was the first gold medal winning team in the country's history. Some international flavor on this Penn squad. Multiple states represented, as you would expect with an Ivy League squad. Wide open 3. Mude off the mark and knocked out of bounds by Max Martz.
Tom, I found this interesting talking to Coach Donahue this morning about the schedule. And he said, well, we have the most non-conference games in the country. One of the reasons why is because the Ivy League plays the fewest conference games. It's a small number of schools. He also said this when I said all these games are packed together. He said, John, we have the shortest window to put these games in because we have the longest finals break. He said our finals take 11 days, plus there are reading days.
Wow. So that's 2 weeks.
And that's when I knew right there that Tom Hart and John Sowell, why we went to Mizzou and didn't have to an Ivy League school. 11 days of finals, my goodness, plus reading days. He said these games have to be crammed in November and early December because then there's a huge break for these Ivy League players.
Jelani Williams, the foul. So that's at least, you'd assume, I don't know, but at least 3 reading days, right? So that's 14 solids, 2 solid weeks, maybe even more. There is a change to the Ivy schedule, which I found interesting. It's a 10-week schedule, and they only go back-to-back 3 times. They have 6 single-game weekends. It used to be you got a travel partner, right? You get on the bus and you go up the road, down the road, and you play on a Friday and a Saturday, and you get back to campus. So that has changed, and changed a few years ago with the introduction of the Ivy tournament. It's the best 4 of the ancient 8 that get together. Harvard hosting this year. Penn hosted a few years ago back-to-back when Penn won it in 2018.
Well, those who follow college hoops, you understand the Ivy League because if you watch for college basketball games, you expected that Friday night game. You knew the Ivy League was playing somewhere, and the Ivy League games were going every Friday, every week.
$17-point lead for the Hogs. Penn has won the Ivy 26 times. Last coming in 2018. The title of Princeton for the most NCAA wins among Ivy League programs.
The ability of J.D. Note to take it off the dribble. We know Note can finish shots. He can finish them inside. He can finish them outside. He will hit some of the toughest jump shots of anybody in the country. But his ability, if he can go off the dribble and find teammates, boy, that makes him quite a threat.
Yeah. Had a 41-point game against those rival Jackrabbits in December of 2020. South Dakota State, 1 of 2 from the line. You were talking about Ivy League history, specifically Penn. You watched some of their tournament games in 1979 when they ended up in the Final Four. Of course, Magic and Bird playing in Salt Lake City in 1979 for the championship.
Yeah, I was a high school senior being recruited by Arkansas. So when you all of us, when you're a basketball junkie like many of us are, you remember the run that Penn had because they were that 4th team. You had Bird, you had Magic, you had DePaul with Mark Aguirre and Clyde Bradshaw. Those remember him. And Tony Price led Penn to the Final Four. Now, they got waxed the first game there against Michigan State. But it was interesting. Back then, Tom, there were only 48 teams, there was a host school for the regional. So I was recruited by Arkansas. And Allen Fieldhouse was the first-round games. And my father and I grew up in Kansas City. So my dad and I got to sit right behind the Arkansas bench with Sidney Moncrief. They were coming off a Final Four appearance in '78 with the triplets, Adelph and Brewer and Sidney. And anyway, so in '79, I get a front row seat. Well, the other game besides Arkansas, and they beat Weber State, was Indiana State. So here I am, a 17-year-old kid, watching Larry Bird walk out, and he was being escorted out by a couple of sheriffs, walk on the court. I mean, right. I marveled at watching the great Sidney Moncrief and then Larry Bird in the same arena.
I got 1,000 takeaways from that story, but one of them is the idea that as a recruit, Arkansas could host you in an NCAA tournament game. Host being a loose term.
Yeah, I don't know how, if it's called host or, I don't know. I mean,
you were invited, right?
I was invited, yes. And back in those days, you didn't really sign early. I was a senior. Senior season was just getting over. Everybody kind of made their decision after their senior season, and mine was down to Missouri and Arkansas. Scott Hastings was a freshman at Arkansas. I wanted to go where a good center was. And just so happened a guy in St. Louis by the name of Steve Stepanovich, and I decided to stay and play for our home state. But I've been down to Barnhill Ridge, and the 4,000 points have transferred in. Now you've got a terrific recruiting class set up for next year.
Razorbacks on a 14-1 run right now. Slacker has been a tremendous weapon today. Sophomore from Thousand Oaks, California, out of Oak Park High School. And then a quick bucket on the other side for J.D. Notehead. Get the feeling that Arkansas, from a player standpoint, wouldn't mind the tempo picking up a little bit. Give up one on one end, get a couple buckets on the other end.
Tom, I'd put it this way. I think the Razorbacks have handled this game very professionally, right? They're doing their work, what they're supposed to do. They've not gone crazy, taking bad shots, giving up too many easy buckets to Penn. We know Penn is undermanned with Jordan Dingle not being able to go, a guy that gives you 20 points a ball game. And again, if you haven't seen Jordan Dingle play, he can play for anybody in the country. You take him out of Penn and the injuries that they've had, but I think the Razorbacks have done what you would expect them to do. A veteran team, guys that have been around, even though they have not been in a Razorback uniform, all of them, but very workmanlike on both ends of the floor.
30-12 points in paint. That's Umide got his hands on that one. Here's Slacker, teardrop. He can score 15 points.
Talking with the coaching staff about Slackert, and again, last year we mentioned this first half. The Ivy League did not play, and I asked basically what did they do. Coach Donahue said, well, the first semester we totally weren't there. Nobody was in the gym, nobody's anywhere. Then February 1st, they basically had a boot camp, spring training. And they all showed up with the exception of Martz and Dingle, who took the year off of school because of eligibility reasons in the Ivy League. But one of the things that came out of that was Clark Slackard really killed it in spring training. Really played well, was outstanding, has had a slower start than they thought so far this season, but maybe a game like this one gets his game going and another option for this Penn Quaker squad.
He was only scoring 8 points a game coming in. He's got 15 now. Quick trigger on the three from Note. 21-point lead for the Hogs. Slackert. Oh, one there.
Tough family job, sounds like, Tom. Tough family job, huh?
No doubt.
Signed for a lot of cash, but it's a short-lived deal, a lot of these places.
Hogs have outscored Penn 18-8 in the second half. Razorbacks have made 4 of their last 5. Old school hook shot off the mark, and then a foul from Lucas Monroe. His second. Devo Davis looked like a left-handed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar there for a second.
Came through like Sam Perkins used to do with Carolina. Just left it a bit short, though.
So Kamani Johnson will get his shoe tied and step to the free throw line. Played at Holy Spirit Prep in Georgia before going to Euler, University of Arkansas Little Rock, 2 seasons there. Third team Sun Belt Conference. He made 144 free throws in the 19-20 season. That was 6 in school history. That's a guy who lived off at the line, unable to knock him down here.
Yeah, 2 years ago, Little Rock won the Sun Belt. Darrell Walker, the great Razorback, coaches at Little Rock.
Oh, wow. What a challenge on the post. J.D. Note with the feed. Likes has been quiet tonight. He hasn't scored. Loose ball. And the Quakers come out of there with it. You mentioned their schedule. They got a tough one coming up with Villanova. Nova's won 6 out of the last 7 Big 5 championships. It's a Philadelphia City championship. They got LaSalle today. They rank 12-2 against the Explorers. Lucas, I just love the tradition of all those teams in Philly, the Palestra especially.
Yeah, Nova's got a great team. They lost to UCLA, lost to Purdue, but they beat Tennessee 71-53. Gillespie's a great guard. You got Samuels. You got.
One of the reasons he was attracted to Arkansas was Earl Boykins was on Musselman's staff. Now he's taken a coaching role, but Boykins played a long time in the NBA as a 5'5", and not just point, but shooting guard as well. and likes his more of a 2 than a 1 if you wanted to have designations. Out of Prince George County, Maryland, where Kevin Durant burst onto the scene. He was preseason first team All-ACC at Miami last year, but had an ankle injury. Played in a couple games early. Slackert drills the 3 with a chance for 4 after taking a shot to the head.
Well, how about this shot? Guys on a roll all afternoon long. Note goes behind, tries to make the block. You have to adjust the ball just a bit. Move the ball in front of his head. Got hit in the head. Knocks in the shot. Opportunity for a rare 4-point play.
So Slackert is sophomore by class, but you mentioned this. Did not play last year with the Ivy Leagues canceling everything. Third team Max Preps All State coming out of Southern California. Has a brother JD who played hoops at UC Santa Barbara. Lead down to 15. It'll stay with Penn. You know you're good, and Slackert obviously was when you lead your state in scoring, and even more so in his California. 31 points a game as a senior for Slackert.
2,800 points is a lot in a career. And he's having fun at Bud Walton.
You can just tell when a guy has a nose for scoring, not just shooting, but scoring. And Slackert obviously has that.
And what good shooters do, Tom, when you watch him, is they move so well to find the openings to get a shot. Not necessarily off his own bounce, but if you keep moving, if you're a shooter, you just keep finding and spreading the distance away from any defender. And that's what he's done this afternoon. And because he's a good catch and release guy, all he needs is a little bit of space, and if most defenders aren't paying attention to you 100% of the time, which they won't because they're team defense, they're helping and then trying to recover, it's usually too late with a guy like this. But again, if Clark Slackert's confidence builds from this game, because he has really kind of struggled shooting the basketball so far in the early part of this season for Penn, but if he's another weapon, and you bring Dingle back, who's a 20-point scorer, and Charles and Jelani Williams, I mean, they've got quite an attack getting ready for the Ivy League.
And 9 games in 19 days is a lot. That's a
NBA
heavy
stuff.
workload. Yeah. Only Coppin State has played more November games than Penn. This is Penn's 9th. Coppin State has already played 10. Nice little run here for Penn. An 8-0 run over the last minute and a half. Lead down to 13. JD Note going one-on-one, and Jalen Williams is able to pick up. Oh, it goes against Jalen Williams. It'll be his first.
Yeah, a bit surprised. I'd like to see this again, and here it is, because Williams got a free look at it. And the ball, it's a tough call. Here's the thing, the ball's a long rebound. So actually, Monroe's coming back out to get into Jalen Williams. So not a good call.
And Penn in the bonus. That'll put Lucas Monroe, Jr. from Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania, at the free throw line. And it's now a 9-0 Quaker run.
Monroe made a huge block on a potential game winner by Utah State at the end of regulation in the game that went double overtime, and Penn's lost to Utah State. Great defensive play in the paint.
See if the Razorbacks answer with the lead trimmed to 12. Arkansas had a 14-1 run earlier this half. Mude drains a 3. His second of the game. Team high 19 points.
Good ball movement against the 1-3-1 zone defense that time.
Loose ball. Razorbacks get on the floor for it. Jalen Williams took a sneaker to the temple, and the ball kicked out of bounds will go to Arkansas.
Usually the guy involved in any little thing that could be positive for the Razorbacks is Jalen Williams. First one on the floor. So that starts it. Now it's kind of a scrum. Ball gets loose. Nobody gets control of it, but Arkansas comes up with it.
If Jalen Williams played football, he'd be the one with the dirty uniform. As it is, he's got a shoe print on the side of his face after that scramble. Layup for Note. Trying to keep pace with Amude with a scoring lead for Arkansas. 16 now for JD.
Nice
beautiful pass.
Davis got beat on the backdoor cut. Didn't see man and ball. Turned his head. And Penn will make you pay.
Monroe and Slackert have combined for 30 of Penn's 45. Remember, Penn closed their Towson loss with a 15-1 run. Slackert thought he had a chance for 3. He's got 21. Bucket inside for J.D. Note.
Might have been a better catch than a pass. Got away with it. Note caught it between 2 Penn defenders. I think that was thrown by Likes. Excellent catch and finish by Note, but he makes big shots. Game in, game out.
Davis extending the defense. Slackert got free. He's fun to watch.
Let's run.
Earlier today, 84-45 against Troy. They had 6 in double figures. They made 13 threes, and they held Troy to just 2 of 16 shooting. Tyree Appleby had the buzzer beater earlier this week.
How about Castleton's numbers? Nearly 16 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks per game. Been terrific.
There's a Penn turnover. You mentioned while we were in commercial break, you thought Penn looked a little tired at this point.
Yeah, they don't, as you can see right there, the timeout when our camera was in close, it's a good pace to a game. Very few breaks for any of the Penn players. Shortened bench with their injuries and the sickness. They have fought extremely hard and tough, but now you've got another 7 minutes.
George Smith enters the game and shoots the ball first time he touches it to drain a 3. 14-point game. Seven of 24 from deep for the Quakers in this game. Slackert.
Beautiful cut.
Gets tied up. Note somehow saved it.
Why not?
Smith's going to fire. Yeah, fire again. He has already tripled his scoring average. And a big-time block inside by by Moshkevitz.
It's become kind of a shooting contest. Both teams, we know Penn's going to shoot threes, and Arkansas settling a little bit. They've had a comfortable lead. Penn has closed it down. That's a continuation at the next level. They'd call that good. Not here collegiately.
Devo Davis going down the baseline.
I think at some point when he took the first bounce, he thought someone would challenge him. And if he'd have known they wouldn't, he probably would have made it a little even more special than that.
Lucas Monroe having a great game. 4 of 6 shooting. He now has 12 points. He's 4 of 5 from the free throw line. And he'll improve on that. Coming off the bench with a baker's dozen.
Penn staying in that matchup zone saves a little bit of the legs, except you do a lot of running in the zone at times, chasing. Rebounded by Note.
2-on-2 into Slackert. And he spins it off the glass. A 20-point game for J.D. Notte.
Last season, the 6th man of the year in the SEC. Got beat on the backdoor cut, but Notte, you know, we saw him last season, and he had 20 against South Carolina, a transfer from Jacksonville that was an all-ASUN player, averaged 15 points a game there, and had 40 in a game against Florida Mercer. So a guy that can score in high numbers at times, had the season-high 30 this year against Mercer. I mentioned earlier, he makes difficult jump shots. And that's great because if he's on your team, but it also he can force some bad shots, because if you make bad shots, you're going to even shoot more because you think you can make anything.
Yeah.
He's got high confidence level.
Yeah, that 40 at JU came against Florida Memorial. And the word from Eric Musselman last year, at least, was we're still working on shot selection, but with a guy who shoots it as often as he does, and because he can be a shot maker, you learn to live with the bad shots, or what a coach may consider a bad shot, and a player would just say, hey, it's what I do.
Well, it is a volume shooter that coach has to get used to, because the numbers last year averaged about 13 points a game, shot 34% from the field, or 38% from the field, 34% three-point line. And this year he's in the same ballpark, 38% from the field. If he could get that to about 44, 45%, now you're making some progress. 38, there's going to be some games as a volume shooter you're going to cost your team if you're not hitting shots.
Jalen Williams with a push-off, and Penn shooting free throws at the other end. It's a second of that variety on Williams. Lead down to 12 for 13th ranked Arkansas, 5-0 on the season. They played some close games already this year that come from behind win against Northern Iowa. A couple relatively close ones, single digits, Kansas State and Cincinnati in Kansas City. Moshkovitz gets his first point of the night. We got more basketball coming your way in Knoxville Tuesday night. The Blue Hose of Presbyterian on Rocky Top to take on Rick Barnes' squad. 7 o'clock Eastern on the SEC Network, streaming live on the ESPN app. Wild reverse layup falls off for Devo Davis.
Tom, the Razorbacks have now they've kind of moved up the degree of difficulty on their shots. And on the other end, Penn has not done that. They've tried to just take clean looks. Arkansas is trying to kind of throw in some sidewinders a little bit.
George Smith, nice pass. Arkansas came into this game as 18-point favorites, and Penn playing without its star, Jordan Dingle, their leading scorer. Yet they only trail by 11. It's over 4 minutes to go. Quite an effort by Steve Donahue's squad.
Moshkovitz, Smarts, Monroe, he's at 22, but those two and Slackert all over 30 minutes in this ball game.
So here's Monroe. An offensive philosophy. We talked about Nate Oates at Alabama, and Steve Donahue sharing some of the same ideas. Get threes or layups or get to the free throw line. And Penn came in with 41% of their points coming from threes and only 14% from the free throw line. There's a bucket by Notte, who's got 22. But they're doing pretty good with 9 points from the line out of their 56 today.
Well, they do it with constant movement on the offensive end. Good hands by Notte. And I'll be honest, I've been there where you play a team that the constant movement, it's no fun to defend.
Slackert's got a career high. Monroe's having a great game. There's Slackert down the lane, and it was, if not touched, at least influenced by Devo Davis.
I promise you, if you'd asked JD Note after this game, good backdoor cut by himself, but does he want to play against a guy like Slackert in an offense like Penn, night in, night out? He'd say, no thank you. Great help by Williams.
Max Martz lost it. See if Arkansas gets a good possession here, up 14.
Smart defensive play. Jalen Williams' man stepped out. He just stayed in the middle of the lane and waited for the backdoor cut. Turnover.
Open is Note. Follow jam won't go by Williams. 2 minutes to play. Three-ball launch. Off the mark is Martz. Arkansas 49% from the floor in this game, just 3 of 17 from 3.
You know, Tom, besides this afternoon, they've struggled shooting the basketball. They didn't shoot it well in Kansas City. Coach Muss would simply say that the key up there was their defense, right? They got stops. Yeah. They were tough. They rebounded. He thinks they'll shoot the ball better. This afternoon wasn't one of those great shooting afternoons. As you mentioned, 3 of 17 from three-point land.
More assists than turnovers in the 2 games in Kansas City, but turnovers an issue again today. 15 turnovers. Loose ball taken away. Here's JD Note out front. On his way to a 28-point effort this afternoon. Came in averaging 18.
And give him credit on the defensive end, because he has chased, hounded, hassled, mostly Slackert for most of this game. Been active around the ball. He's got great hands, great vision. He's got 5 assists on the game, 9 rebounds, 28 points you mentioned. Night in, night out, he's going to show, and they need him. Probably doesn't get the recognition on the defensive end as others might. He's a guy that they can put on anybody in the opposing uniform, and he will hound them as well as anybody.
Slackert hasn't missed a free throw all season, 17 of 17. And he remains perfect. He had an 8 for 8 free throw performance against Florida State. Oh, pardon me. He did miss one earlier in this half. Oh, Devo Davis trying to finish with a flourish. Meanwhile, nice back cut, and the bucket goes. Note will walk it up, and it'll be a 16-point